Cheers COD family, it's your princess, and with the new Call of Dragons update, resources become more important than ever. In my today's video, I want to show you 6 tips how to build your farm account efficient. Stay tuned! Welcome to my new video, and if you like and enjoy my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification that you don't miss out when I share a new video or will go live. As I already mentioned in my video before, resource healing really will become a thing in future KVKs. The new update brought a lot of changes for the resource healing. For example, they decreased the resource healing costs, they increased the daily possible resource healing, and they also increased the limit of resources you can send from one account to the other account. And that is the time why we have to speak about farm accounts, because they will really benefit your main account. For example, I focus on my main account gathering mana, and gold, wood, and ore is a thing I go with my farm account and help my main account out for that. So if you are lucky like I am, I made, before I started with Call of Dragons, kind of a test account earlier and tried a little bit like how to figure out if I like the game and whatever. So I played 2 weeks on a server till I decided I want to play Call of Dragons in future and made my main account. So I could bring that account over here, and you can do that too if you have on any other server and that fills the requirements that you can migrate it to your main server. That is the easiest thing to do. But if you don't have that, you can also create a new character on your server and build up a farm account from zero. And to get this as fast as possible done, I have in my today's video 6 tips for you what you have to keep in mind when you start building up your farm account. Tip number 1 is, what faction should you choose? And you have 2 possibilities, and it kind of depends what you want to go for. You have the League of Order, which give you an overall gather speed of 10%, which is great. And you have also in the Wilderburg faction, with here the work rhinos have the bonus that they will gain extra resources when they exhaust the resource point. That means every time you finish a resource point, you get some extra resources on top. So if you are a very, very active player, in my opinion, the League of Order is the best one, because the 10% gather speed brings your gatherers home faster and you can send them out over and over again. When you may be a person who have not so much time for your farm account and you leveled it up and sent out to high-level resource points, maybe the Wilderburg faction is the better option for you, because you get that little extra amount of that. But you don't have to decide that at the beginning forever, because when you create a new account, you can just choose one of those, and then you have the free faction change option. You have that item in your inventory, and then you can just decide after you build it up for what faction you want to go. Tip number 2, on what should you focus when you start building up your account for farming. In my opinion, the first goal you have is bring your main city level to level 16, because level 16 unlocks you that you can farm with 4 marches. So you will focus at the beginning on all the buildings which are required to up-level your main city hall. And when you have that 16, then you can think about other buildings. But in my opinion, that is the first goal, that you have the 4 marches. And the next goal after this is that you go for the city level 21, because that unlocks you the 5th march. But that requires a lot of more resources, etc. by time. And I would really recommend you go at the beginning to 16, because there's something you have to know. When we look here at our storehouse, and you can look at, you see here, there is a resource storage rate 26.5%. What is that telling me? When I go out and send my gatherers, 26.5% from what they bring home will always be protected. And the protected resources cannot be sent to the main account. So they stay kinda in your city and they can only be used for upgrading stuff. So what I would do is after you reach the city level 16, you just send out your 4 farming marches and gather as much as you can. You send all your unprotected resources always to your main account. And at some point, and that probably takes a season or maybe 1.5, you have a lot of protected resources here. And then you send out all the unprotected ones. And then you increase your building levels with the protected resources so they have still a use and are not just chilling in your city and don't have a use anymore. So that is what I would recommend to do. And that is just a little example of what you can have in mind when you go for the city level 21 for the 5th March. Tip number 3 is you need at the beginning to up-level it very, very fast as second builder. And you have different options let me go into it. When you want to unlock a second builder, you have for sure the possibility you can buy the $5 pack, unlock it. That is what a lot of whales and spenders are doing because they are just don't have the patience. So they just say, come on, I get for that pack and it's done. Second option you have is you spend 5k gems to unlock it permanently. And with all the new pass rewards on the new season, what we get, it can be possible that you have the 5k gems very fast. But in my opinion, there's a better use for gems. And you have here the option to hire a second builder for 150 gems for 2 days. And from my experience, it needs you around 1.5 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, that you really need the second builder. So for that time, you can hire it and you can save a lot of gems. And I think there is a better use for the gems on the Goblin Merchant, for example, where you can exchange it for resources directly. So I would really not go for the 5k gems. So I would either decide if I go for the $5 pack or if I just hire it every 2 days new for 150 gems. Tip number 4 is another main important building you have to keep in mind is the bazaar that was earlier before the update called the Alliance Market. Because when we look at that building, the higher level it is, the less taxes you pay when you transfer resources from one account to another account. And we don't want to pay much taxes. We want to reduce the taxes as low as possible. So whenever, and that is my focus, you see I'm upgrading that building right now. So I would always try to upgrade that building as the next building after you did the city level because that saves you taxes a lot. Tip number 5 is when you make a completely new account from zero, you can scout the map again. And the villages, the caves, the supplies, etc., all that extra rewards, they helps us a lot to get and build out our farm account faster. So, and there is now with the new update a short possibility how you can really get that map scouted fast because we have here a new option and that is here called Auto Explore. You can make it on and off and then you can just send out your scouts and depending on the building level, they have an exploration time daily, what they can auto scout, and then you can just let the scouts do the work. The only thing you have to do is you have to leave the game on your device open, and the scouts, for the time they have remaining, they run around and get all the free rewards for you. And then you can here just with the auto gather option, collect them all very fast, and you get a lot of extra stuff, what helps you to bring up your farm account very fast. And last but not least, tip number 6, in my opinion, you want to focus the gather heroes. So when you go out and up-level your heroes with Darklings, etc., you can, for example, do that with your gather heroes. All the hero XP boxes I get from the game I use on my gather heroes. Because you want to here, when we look at them and we go in the talent trees, you wanna bring them up as fast as possible, yes? That you get the extra speed and gather speed and what they can give you. So that is really the focus, that you up-level your gather heroes. We all know them, and that is another reason why I would go and unlock here in the Behemoth trial additional in this, because even if she is only unlocked and she has no skill up-leveled, she has the hero talent tree like Pan, Kala, Chakra, Chaka, I think Chaka it is. And they have the same hero talent tree, and so they, here, Chakcha, oh, I never know how to say it correctly. And that is the big bonus. So you just want to unlock in this. I mean, if you can get her skills up, it is not bad. But we have now here in the Behemoth trials, we have also an auto battle option, but you need some troops for that. So it kind of depends how much time you want to invest in that, etc. But if you really plan on upgrading in this, where is she? I only need 1 token left to unlock her. Then if you get her, definitely unlock directly the 2nd star, because then you have unlocked the getter speed bonus, and that you can maybe get a little bit up by time if you can get some more tokens. That is it for now from me with my farming tips. One special tip maybe at the end, because a lot of people ask me how much workhorses around are recommended. I can show here my legions I have. As I said, that was a test account earlier, so it's a little bit wild. In a farm account, I would only go for workhorses and maybe some troops for the Behemoth trial. But I aim for 200k workhorses, or maybe even 225k workhorses, because then I can really send out to the big level resource points. It kind of depends if the zone 1, for example, in KVK is protected and we bring the farm accounts there too, or we just leave them at the home server. But I think with around 200k as the beginner goal workhorses, I think that is the way to go. But even here I do the same. I don't speed up training workhorses so much at the beginning. I do always speed up training them after I transferred my resources, because then at that point, it take the resources, what I have here, saved in my protected. So I don't touch the resources I can send to my main account. So yeah, that it is from my side. If you have additional advices, some tips and tricks, what you have experienced when you build up your farm account, let me please know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video here, make sure you drop a like for me. I would appreciate it much. Yeah, and today I say happy farming and happy gaming and much love. Your princess.